So I'm going to be taking you into one of my $2 million Shopify stores, and I'm going to be showing you absolutely everything. Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. My name is Camille Sire, known as the Ecom King, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you one of my 7-figure Shopify ecom brands, and I'm going to be showing you the Shopify dashboard and all the key analytics that you need to see to understand how the brand's operating. I'm also going to be showing you the website. I'm also going to be taking you into the Google Ads overview dashboard, because Google Ads is actually our key advertisement platform right now to acquire customers. Then I'm going to be talking about the future of this e-commerce brand and what we've got lined up for the rest of 2022 and 2023, and what is our end goal for this brand. So if you're somebody that wants to start an e-commerce business and take it from 0 to 7 figures, then this video is extremely important for you to watch in full, because you're going to learn what process are in places to actually operate a 7-figure store and actually get it to that point. And me and my business partner have created a free Google Doc sheet that's got loads of information about the brand and how the brand's operating. And if you want to get access to that free Google Doc sheet, make sure we hit 2,000 likes, and I'll leave it in the pinned comment and in the description below. So before I actually get into the juicy part of this video, let me talk to you about what the brand name is, when the brand got started, and what the brand's actually about. So the brand name is called Fad Closet. It's an American fashion outerwear brand for men and for women. The fashion brand was founded back in 2017 by a gentleman called Yasser Salim, and I'm currently a co-owner. The brand was registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office, meaning that the brand is protected. So currently the fashion brand operates in the United States, Canada, and in Australia. The brand does have a headquarters and it's currently based in the United States. So as you guys can see here, I'm in the Shopify dashboard, and you can see the total sales is $1.5 million. But do bear in mind that this Shopify dashboard is only for the US version of the brand. So if I show you the Canadian version, you can see it's done 115,000. If I show you the Australian version, you can see it's done 55,000. So if you go back to the US version of this dashboard, you can see, if you look at the actual graph itself, the brand didn't really pick up till late 2018. And the reason why it's such a violent graph where you got spikes and then downtrends, spikes and downtrends, is because it is a seasonal brand right now, and that is something that we're currently working on to make it a forever green brand, so we don't have these inconsistencies between peak seasons. So if we break down where the sales volume is actually coming from, you can see the online store is roughly around about 1.3 million. If you don't know what online store is, it's basically the Shopify store. Now you can see there are draft orders equivalent to around about $60,000. Now some of the draft orders is when you work with influencers, you actually put the order through as a draft order, and then that way you know which stock's coming out. Because if you're running an e-commerce brand where there's actually SKUs, stock keeping unit, then you must do this if you want to make sure your stock is at the actual level it's at. So you put it through as a draft order. Now some of these are genuine draft orders, and some of them are just because when we work with influencers, we send the product out and we map it as a draft order. You can see Amazon's done around about 55,000, so we do use Amazon for this brand, but that's just now and again. We don't really primarily focus on Amazon. We do want to try and get solely away from it. And you can see OrderSync for Google Shopping, so that's Google Shopping, 35,000. And then something that a lot of you guys might be surprised about, as you can see here, Spocket for suppliers is around about 15,000. And then you've got Modulus for suppliers around about 11,000. Now these two are the same thing but for different platforms. So a lot of you might have heard of Spocket. Now we're actually a supplier for people that might buy our products from Spocket. So when you go on Spocket, there's suppliers that are listing those products that you buy them from. So we're one of the suppliers for what we're currently selling. So we actually get the revenue from Spocket when people order from the Spocket platform for our actual products. So this is something that I actually haven't covered on the channel before, which is actually being the middleman for dropshipping suppliers. And this is where the revenues come from. And this is actually a great way to increase your revenue. And this can only work if you're an e-commerce brand actually manufacturing the products. This is when you can use this strategy, and it really does help boost your actual revenue. If we take a look at the returning customer rate, it's currently at 11.6%, which isn't bad at all, especially as this is a seasonal brand right now, and you want to make your returning customer rate, if you're running an e-commerce brand, minimum around about 8%, and we're currently aiming to get this between 20 and 30%, because when you run a brand, the key is to get returning customers if you want to be profitable long term. So if we take a look at the average order value, it's around about $176, so it is a high ticket store when it comes to what we're selling. So if we take a look at what the best selling products are for Fad Closet, our e-commerce brand, you can see it's the women's leather jacket, and it's accumulated for us around about $200,000. $100,000. Now, it doesn't matter what e-commerce brand you are, especially in fashion, you're always going to have that one product or two products that do well all the time. It doesn't matter if it's the first year, second year, third year, you're always going to have those classic products that just sell well all the time. Our second best selling product is going to be the high fashion women's leather jacket, which is accumulated around about $130,000. And you can see for our brand, women's does the best. You can see here, all of the top 4 products are women's, and then it starts to get into the men's leather jackets. So if we take a look at the sales attribute for Fad Closet to see which platforms are bringing in the most money for us, you can see that Google Shopping is our key platform, bringing in around about almost $700,000. So we are primarily using Google Shopping, and I know that's going to shock a lot of you guys. So that's why this video is going to be really exciting, because you're going to learn exactly what we're doing with Google Shopping. Then the rest of it is going to be things like Facebook, Instagram promotions, but primarily is Google Shopping. Now, before I show you guys the website, I want to talk a little bit about where the products are made and the actual product logistics. So the products are all designed by my business partner Yasser, and we actually design them ourselves, and then we send them off to our manufacturers to actually make them. So they are all unique designed products that we're making in-house. Now, in terms of logistics, we do have fulfillment centers in the US and in Canada to ship to those 2 countries, so we get the fastest shipping times. So when the brand first started, I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking this, did it start as a drop shipping brand? No, it always started as an e-commerce brand, buying products in bulk, manufacturing them, designing them, slowly by slowly ordering small amounts of stock, selling them, ordering more and more and more, until we've built it up now to where we've got over $2 million worth of inventory in the actual fulfillment center. So it started off with a $10,000 worth, build it up, build it up, build it up, till now where it is. Now, that's what you do with any fashion business. And the reason why we didn't want to go into the drop shipping way to start with is because we always wanted our unique designs to start with, because that's what the USP is. So I've got the American version of the website on the screen. You can see it's called fadcloset.com. And this is where the majority of the sales come through. And the reason why we have 3 different websites is because on the Canadian website, which I'll show you later, there's a different type of product on there. On the actual Australian version, there's a different type of product on there because they're different types of markets. So if I scroll down and show you what we've got here, these are our new arrivals, and these are what we call the insulated collection. So in America right now, these are what are doing quite well. So these are the reasons why we're currently selling these. Now, our best sellers for the brand have always been our leather jackets. So if I show you our best seller right here, this is the one. This is the one that's achieved almost $200,000, and you can see we're selling it for $199 US, and we do have Afterpay set up, and I recommend that everybody has Afterpay set up, because when you're selling higher ticket products, this is where people are going to use to actually check out with. And you can see here we've got some actual product live photography here of somebody wearing the product in an actual photo shoot that we paid for to get hired. And you can see we've got 7 left in stock, ships in 1 to 2 business days. And you can see here we've got the size chart, and you can see the size chart is very accurate. And I know a lot of people are asking, when you do fashion, how should the size charts be done? You can see calculate my size. So what you do is you type in these 3 metrics, and we'll tell you what we would recommend that you order it in to get the best size. You can see here the illustrations, and this is what your size guide should look like if you are going to get into the fashion part of the business. You can also see that we've got PayPal as a checkout option. I know a lot of you guys are going to say, why did you have PayPal? Now, PayPal is actually a great option to use if you're running an actual brand website where you've got the products in your own fulfillment centers, because you've got fast shipping times, and normally you don't have issues with PayPal if you're a legit e-commerce brand. So you can see the descriptions are very short and sweet, and with fashion businesses, you don't need crazy descriptions. It's more about the photography on the website, and you can see our return policy, and you can also see our shipping policy, and you guys can also see our FAQs based on the most frequently asked questions that we ask from our actual customers. And then we've got our reviews here, and all of these reviews are legitimate reviews from genuine customers. Now, something that I want to talk about, because it's extremely important, it's one of our biggest problems, and this is one of the biggest problems in fashion as an e-commerce business, is our return rate is around about 40%, which isn't bad, but I think it could be a lot better. And our plans are to get it down to around about 25 to 30% in the next 1 to 2 years. Now, the reason why the return rate is high is because people order stuff and it's not the right size, so they get a free return, so they actually change it for a different size, that fits them, but it does cost the business a lot of money because we do currently offer free returns. Now, if we take a look at the bottom of the website, we've got this video strip of the new arrivals, so you can watch the video shoot of the new arrivals. Then we've got some reviews, the Instagram name, then we've got the footer and the subscribe now to get 5% off. And if we look at the menu, you can see this is what the menu looks like. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be saying in the comment section below that the website is very basic, and yes, it is very basic, and we are currently working on getting a brand new website done for the American version, Canadian version, and the Australian version. If you guys remember at the start of the video when I was showing you the Shopify dashboard, I was talking about when you looked at the graph how the actual brand itself is quite seasonal, and this is something that we're doing in 2022 to tackle that problem, which is activewear as an outerwear fashion part of the brand. So we're really going to be focusing on this year, next year, on the outerwear part of the brand to make it an forever green actual industry instead of being more seasonal. So this is where we're going to be putting a lot of our time, a lot of our money to actually take us to the next level. So as you guys can see on the screen, I've got the Canadian version of the website open, ca.fadcloset.com, and you guys can see straight away the Canadian version focuses more on the insulated parka coats, puffer coats, because Canada has much colder weather than the US and it's all different seasons. So that's why we have it laid out like this. So the leather jackets are a lot further down because it's not as common to wear leather jackets in Canada than it is in the US from what we've seen. It's more common to actually wear stuff like this in Canada than it is the actual leather goods. Now, if we take a look at the Australian version of the website, you can see it focuses more on that summer climate because obviously Australia is a lot hotter than the two other countries that I mentioned. And something that we do is we do offer actually custom jackets. So you can get your own custom jacket made to how you actually want it. And this is something that's a little bit smaller that the company does, but we do make a lot of money on these because there's a lot of money in custom designs. And you can see we focus more on those summer leather jackets. Now, with the Australian part of the company, we are looking to get into a different collection that can last all year round, something like swimwear potentially, because that could be hot all year round for the Fad Closet in the Australian market. So for the part of the video that I'm sure most of you guys are most excited about, which is the Google Ads overview, and you can see since the brand started, we spent $242,000 on ad spend, and you can see here these are the biggest changes. So you can see that our shopping campaigns have worked extremely well, and you can see that they're the ones that really drive the most sales for the actual brand itself. Now, if we take a look at the campaigns right now that are doing the best, you can see shopping campaigns based on the ROAS is doing well. Now, our text ad campaign also works really well, which is where it's just text like a display ad and people purchase it through there. But you can see shopping on Canada works really well, but overview, really shopping campaigns work the best for this brand. Now, if we take a look at what keywords are working extremely well, you can see cheap leather jackets is working extremely well. You can see blue leather jackets are working extremely well. Now, if we take a look at what keywords are working extremely well for us right now, you can see things like Fad Closet, leather jacket, women's leather jackets, you can see men's leather jackets. All of these different keywords are working extremely well right now for the brand. So if you look here, this is what one of our successful text ad campaigns look like. And you can see it says men's real lambskin leather blazers, jackets and coats. And then you got the actual link here. You can buy as much as 70% off clearance leather items, top quality stylish lambskin leather. And then you can see here, this is what the ad looks like on the text version. Then you got one of our successful shopping campaigns right here, what it looks like. You got the women's orange leather jacket, some of the boots, and then the blue leather jacket. We do run video ads for Google, and how that works is you run a video on the YouTube platform, and this works really well if you're coming out with a new collection and you want to retarget people. You send them to the video, and that can work really well to get a new emails or just retargeting in general. So we do run these, and they do work quite well. Now, if we look at mobile devices, that is the best performing device for our brand right now, and you can see computers is the second best performer, then the actual tablet is the next performer. So if we take a look at what gender is the best right now for our Google ads, you can see female is just slightly better, and then male is just slightly under the female when it comes to which one's bringing in more purchases. So if we take a look at what networks perform the best for the Google ads for the brand, you can see Google search is by far the strongest, and this is where you search for a keyword or a phrase, and you get hit with a shopping ad based on that keyword or phrase, and then you buy it. And then you can see display network is the next one, and then cross network, and then YouTube is a very small amount. Now, if we take a look at what day and hour performs the best, our strongest is by far our Saturdays, and then you can see the next strongest is going to be our Sundays, and then it's going to be mixed between the Thursday and the Monday. If we take a look at what hours in the day work best for us, you can see it's between 6 a.m. and around about 6 p.m. and then things start to drop off. If we take a look at some of the active campaigns right now, you can see we're spending the most of the money, $2,000 a day, on shopping campaigns because that's what works best for the brand. And you can see we've got a few in the different countries, Canada, Australia. You can see we've got some retargeting campaigns as well, but overall shopping campaigns work way better than the others. As you guys can see on the screen, I am in the Facebook Ads Manager for the brand, and you can see we spent around about $40,000 on Facebook ads. And I do want to be honest with you guys, Facebook ads right now isn't working the best for the brand. We've tried it since 2019 and it really hasn't done extremely well for the brand. We just ain't finding it being as profitable as Google is. But one of the biggest things that we plan on doing this year is to really try and get Facebook ads to work with the brand to see if we can really scale, because I find that with Facebook ads you can really scale aggressively with them, but the consistency just isn't there, but you can get some decent numbers. I find Google ads are more consistent, but you can't get aggressive numbers like you can get with Facebook ads. Now the reason why I know that is because my other clothing brand that I own, Facebook ads is what brings in the big numbers for us instead of Google ads. So that's something that we're going to really work on this year. So there's not really much that I can show you with the Facebook ads. We've ran CBOs, we've ran ABOs, we've ran shopping, catalog ads, we've ran loads of different things. Now our best performing ad is this one right here, which is a single image ad showing this leather jacket. And you can see here, holiday sale, 50% off, order today and get it now before Christmas. And then you can see here an image of a lifestyle photo. And I find that with fashion stores, image ads, single image ads work extremely well. Carousel ads work extremely well, but video ads do not perform at all. So if you are wanting to get into clothing, that is some ideas for you. So after me showing you the Google ads and the Facebook ads for Fad Closet, you're probably thinking, how do I run Google ads or Facebook ads? Don't worry, we've generated a 9-hour free course for 2022. I'll leave a link in the description and at the end of the card so you can watch that at the end of the video. So that's why I didn't show you how to do it in this video, because in the free course there's a 1.5-hour section where it teaches you everything about Google ads so you can learn how to use them in your own e-commerce business. So what I want to talk about now is the future of Fad Closet and what we got planned for the next 1 to 2 years and what our end game is with the brand. So something we want to do is increase our profit margins, because our profit margins right now are around about 20 to 25%. And one thing that we need to do that will really help us increase our sales volume is by getting into the European market. And now a lot of the stuff that we're selling could be ideal, if not more ideal than the US market for what we're selling. And the European market, in my opinion, might be bigger than the market that we're currently selling into. The reason why we're not already in the European market is because there's a lot of legalities involved. There's a lot of headache bringing a US company into the European market logistically as well, and import taxes, loads of different reasons why it's so hard to get into the European market. But we plan on getting that done by the end of Q2, and that will, I think, increase our revenue by around about 20 to 40%, which is absolutely massive. Something else that we need to work on to increase our profit margins is getting that return rate and exchange rate from 40% to around about 20 to 25 to even 30%. We also need to work on our customer lifetime value, getting that to between 15 and 30%. Now, one of the biggest problems that we need to work on is actually getting the brand to be a forever green brand all year round instead of being a seasonal brand, which is costing us hundreds and hundreds, if not millions of dollars, because we're not consistent in the year. And like I was saying to you guys before, the way we're going to achieve that is by getting into the activewear market where people will wear it throughout the whole year. So the brand's generated around about $1 to $2 million since existing, and what our plan is for the next 1 to 2 years, even 3 years, is to generate another $3 to $8 million on top of that. And I believe that can be achieved by all of the things that we're going to be adding into the brand this year, if not by the end of the year. And then eventually, potentially, if we can get a good amount of money for it, we are looking to sell the brand at the end of achieving around about $3 to $8 million. And the end goal would be to actually sell the brand and liquidate the brand and hopefully get a good amount of money for the brand. We're looking at around about $2 to $5 million for the brand eventually, fingers crossed. And the reason why is because sometimes what you want to do is, we've had this brand since 2017, so we've been running it for a very long time now, and sometimes you want to get money and use it to do another brand in a different industry because you want to change things up. You can't run the same brand forever because you'll eventually get bored, but somebody else might take that and do something else with it. There's always companies buying out other companies and doing things with them to make them better and different. So that's what our end goal would potentially be, and I hope we can do that in the next 2 to 3 years. And I'm probably going to do another update on the brand in the next 6 months to show you what's happened at the end of 2022 in terms of how well the brand's actually grown. If you've got any questions about today's video and the brand Fad Closet, let me know in the comment section below. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I hope you've learned something, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.